What's up, everybody? What is up, Soul Warriors? It is I, Juniper Bloom Mystique. I've got some really cool stuff to tell you. And I decided since my birthday is tomorrow that I would do free messages for anybody that shows up if they want any. If not, it's all good in the hood, too. Um, so yesterday I did something really, really, really cool, but and it deals with the animals and the gates of heaven. Since I am the one who opened them up and brought about the ascension, I got to take them all through the gates yesterday. And then something really cool was discovered and actually blurted out to the public as well, which involved a lab in California that had lots of animals and COVID and HIV traces and all these other diseases in it too. So that was really cool. Before I get into that, I'll really quickly introduce myself. My name is Juniper Blue Mystique, Ascension Master, Master Healer, and Divine Guide. I am the one who brought about the Ascension. Okay. I've done it through clearing Mount Shasta, raising Atlantis, activating pyramids, and freeing Jesus' soul. Not only did I do that, I united Jesus and Mary Magdalene, cleared the unholy grail, activated all the masculine pyramids, and cleared the Nile. Then after that, the gates of heaven opened up, and now I'm starting to process things through it. That is who I am. All of that is proven and witnessed and available for you guys to see here on my channel. It happens through workshops during my awakening processing. Whatever spirit would nudge me to do, I would do them. So they would come through in workshops, but that way they were also witnessed and recorded and felt. And not only that, I was supposed to be waking up and, like what the Bible speaks about, the 10 apostles, and they were supposed to be coming with me. We did not get 10, unfortunately, but some did make it through. And they are working on their journey diligently, I should say. So I was hoping some of them would come on today. If nobody wants a free message, you know what? It kind of speaks volumes for how many people are watching my videos right now. So whatever. What's up, Michelle? See, it says nobody's here. So thank you for commenting. It says nobody's ever here. Like if nobody wants to come, I'm all good. What is up, Michelle? Thank you. Yes. My birthday is tomorrow. Some of you may not know, it's been a very rough journey. After my birthday last year, I had a DM die, and I don't know if I will again this year. Like I really don't know. So it's been a rough one. So thank you very much. You know, I'm just trying to make it a very positive one. And so I wanted to give out some messages for free. And I was trying to consider a giveaway, but honestly, right now with very little people even listening to what I've done, I'm not sure I'm going to do a huge giveaway, but I am going to give some free messages today. I'm going to give some free messages on Tuesday. And hopefully those will come for that. But I wanted to talk about a couple things, okay? Because it's super, super important. It's what I've been talking about lately. So when you go through the gates of heaven, when you actually work your way up the ascension, I've talked about it. So does the Bible. You have all these gates you have to go through. You will have to go through the gates no matter what. You guys, something so cool happened yesterday with the animals I want to talk about, okay? Because I got to bring them through all of the gates at one time and then into the gates of heaven. And only a couple of us could really push them through the final gate, right? Because you have to be pure-hearted. And just to see that was amazing. To see the kickback too. Like when you go through the gates, if you're not pure of heart, it kicks back at you. That's karma, right? And that's how God operates. And then you have lessons you have to clear. It's like, do I choose self-growth or do I choose not to? But with the animals yesterday, I got to bring them through all the gates, right? With those that joined me, we put them in a bubble. And they got to choose the bubble and help me out the whole way. And I would process the animals through. And in it, I said things like there were a lot of biolabs, which is interesting because today they ousted a biolab that was found in California. They did a lot of testing on them. There was a lot of DNA modifications that could not be accepted through into the gates. Okay, this is the big deal for people as well. This is what I've been trying to tell you guys, okay? And not only me, all starseeds and light workers that are connected have been trying to tell everybody is you have to be DNA pure. Okay. The V, all of that was meant to modify your DNA. Also, what I found out is that within the V's is animal byproduct and animal DNA, as well as other species that are not on this planet usually, but they've always been here. You've just been shrouded from that like aliens, right? All of that was in these things. All of that is mingled into DNA across this planet. The animals couldn't be accepted due to some of them, not all of them, couldn't be, they got kicked back out. I was able to heal and repair some of their DNA. Okay. And that's the same thing. That's what they talk about the med beds. So certain people who are choosing in their heart to listen, to go through those portals, and their DNA may have been messed with, especially against free will, we're healing those. And that's why they talk about med beds. But it's up to you to do it. Like, it has to be through free will. It has to be you wanting it. It has to be you wanting to come to heaven on earth, basically. But you have to be pure. It means you have to develop yourself, right? That's self-growth. That's what I had to do the whole way. You can't let vices get to you, temptations, your shadow, no judgment, no fear, no chastising others or ourselves, right? It's all a part of it. But with the animal portals, it was so cool. I was hoping those that came with me yesterday would be here today, but I'm not seeing them yet. But it might take them a little bit to trickle over, so we'll see if they come. But I'm doing this Tuesday too on Facebook, so you never know. But actual birthday's tomorrow, the 31st. So I just want to throw that out there. So today and Tuesday, I'm doing these. Today is YouTube. Tuesday is Facebook, and they're all free messages if you guys want to come, okay? But with the animals yesterday, you guys, Spirit told me I needed to take the animals through the portal. So I did a workshop, okay? And a few people joined me, and they helped me. They would help bubble up all these animals. And in there, I talked about a lot of mutilations. Crossbreeding was not an issue. I just did some genetic healing if they needed it. So that was okay. Like, I saw like the ligers and all that kind of stuff. There was a lot of crossbreeding in there, and that's fine. They didn't deny those into the gates. What was rejected was all of the genetic modifications. Okay. Some I could heal, and most I could not. I saw a lot of cross species that didn't really exist. Oh, and they even had a mechanical spider. And they talked about birds that were not of God, that were not real. They're used in like warfare. These came up in my workshop. And there was spiders, birds, and like mosquitoes and things. All of those did reflect in the energy because they got kicked back out. Okay. So I called in all these animals, and the ones that were not of God or were mutilated and changed so much I couldn't allow them through. Okay. But for the majority, a lot of them got sent through the gates of heaven, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful to see, to feel, to witness. Some of them will, quote unquote, be wiped out to be reintroduced, I guess you could say, as time goes forward. But for the most part, our animals will make it okay. Thank you. It's tomorrow. Thank you so much for that. I'm excited. I'm getting older, but I've survived, so I'm super happy. I'm very proud of myself, you guys. Very proud. But this is what I had said in the workshop yesterday, is that, you know, it was so cool to watch all of the gates in the process, because it took me 3.5 years to open these gates, and I've been going through them and doing my calling back my power, getting my DNA activations through them all, and then I got to go through the gates of heaven. And one other person did as well that made it through all of the stuff with me and did her part, fulfilled her karma and all of that. And then in the end, you get a heart review, and I give you your key, and your contract dissipates. You get a blank paper with a golden pen, and you go through the gates into the golden era, and you get to design your future. That's the most beautiful part about it, because you cleared all your karma, you chose self-growth the whole way, and now you're just a pure soul. Okay. And with the animals, I got to do the same thing, except for they're not so karmically declined, right? Like they're animals, so they don't get to choose the choices we did against, you know what I mean, like for soul lessons and stuff, because that's really what it's about. Nobody does anything wrong. It's just about soul lessons. So the animals didn't have that, but the karma that got kicked back was from those who mutilated them. And so that was the cool part too. I saw this, and I saw all these labs, you guys, which was really cool to see, because they're going to be exposed. And now today, one of the things that I saw, sure enough, was an illegal, let me try to show you. An illegal, I'm like, wait, I put the ad on here. Let me look at it. So they did expose a illegal Chinese biolab, except for it wasn't Chinese. If you actually read the article, they use China, but it's empty addresses. So they're trying to, like I've said the whole time, blame it on them, but it's truly us and the British monarchy. And that's what's been coming out in all of my stuff that created it. But in this biolab they uncovered in California, what they found was deeply disturbing. Okay, that's what it says. It's a actual article. You can look it up. It's in msn.com. It's all over for those who choose to see it. Okay. And in it literally said that they found, here, let me read it. The warehouse, they call it a Chinese link company, but it says literally that they're using China addresses that have no existence. So that's clearly them just trying to, you know, what I'm saying. Hang on a second. I'm like trying to read it and somebody texted me. It's 11:11, by the way. So what it said, found running an unlicensed California biolab that contained at least 20 potentially infectious diseases, including coronavirus, HIV, hepatitis, and herpes. Clearly man-made. Okay, I've said that many times. We're not meant to get sick. The warehouse was discovered by local and federal agents in Fresno County. The illegal and unlicensed laboratory was full of lab mice, medical waste, and hazardous materials. Federal agents retrieved a man named something Yao who was running a company at the warehouse called Prestige Biotech. He was serving as president of the company. The company was registered in Nevada, but the owners used empty offices or addresses in China that could not be verified. Okay. According to court documents filed in the case, Prestige Biotech was not licensed in California either. Okay. So all of these viruses that they found, they would test them on animals, and a majority of the animals were passed away. They were deceased. What is up? Thank you. Thank you. So after I did that yesterday, and I knew that we were processing all of those animals' souls, like I had said that, those that helped me send them through, we're processing their souls. The gates of heaven themselves, not all of us could touch yet. But I pushed them through. It was so cool, you guys, to see that. When they would get kicked back, I would see all of this stuff. Okay. There was, like I said, spider robots, birds that were not human or not human, not birds. Doesn't mean all of them were that way, but these were what they would use. These were their weaponry. These were their biotech against you guys. Mosquitoes were in there, flies. Those are the ones that were not in God's creation. Okay. Those got kicked back. And then I said all these labs were going to be exposed and taken down. And sure enough, they're already in the works of doing that. And I was like, thank you. And so those get kicked back. And the way it gets kicked back, it's karma that's shooting back at the ones that created them. Because I was not able to accept them through the gates of heaven. We were not able to. It was sad. Lisa was there. Descent, what's up? Thank you. Sorry, I was doing my live. I was not able to answer your text yet. But... but it was a really cool thing. Like Jacinth was there, Lisa was there, and I actually got to experience the gates all at once, you guys. We took all of the animals, I had them help me bubble them up, and I brought them through the gates. And then there was this equilibrium realignment within that, but they either got DNA activations or healing, or the ones who were too much modified or created out of petri dishes or soulless could not go through. And there was quite a few. Okay. And then the rest got to go through into the new earth. So I was really excited about that. And it would kick them back. So here's how the gates work. Okay. It's the same for people, except for we have to clear our own karma. The animals' karma got kicked back to the individuals who mucked them up. Right. But for people, you go through the gates one by one as you raise in vibration and awareness. And look, somebody stopped watching. I don't know why people don't want to hear this, because that's your only way through. It's your only way through into the new earth. And then I give the final heart reviews into the new earth. But here's how it works. So it was so cool. We did like a couple gates at a time, right, you guys? I think that's how it went for the animals. I was taking them through like 2 or 3 gates at a time. And then I would have to heal them, repair DNA at times, cleanse them, purify them each way. And then they would equilibrium, right? We would balance them to the earth and then give them a moment and take them through the next gates and do this all the way up through. Now, the first, I don't know, half of the gates, it was all karmic kickback. Okay. And then because the ones that could not go through, that were deemed unviable, that were modified, that were messed with, got kicked back karmically. And those that did it, it shot back to them. Okay. And so unfortunately, water wall and color bubbles. That's right. That was part of it after the gates. Yep. Unfortunately, they couldn't make it, and that's the sad part, right? But it wasn't our fault. Whoever's was fault it was, which are these labs and your government that you all trust so very much so, are going to deal with that karma. Okay. Now, for people, when people go through the gates, they go one by one, and then sometimes they go quicker. Sometimes you don't have karma in every gate. It depends on you. It depends on your lifetimes, because remember, every lifetime is measured. Okay, this is a cool part. I'm just going to give this little info before we get into free messages, because I know that's truly what everybody wants. I would. But when you go through the gates, if you have karma, it kicks it back at you. Okay, that's how it does it, because these gates are of God. Okay, and so all of your lives have been measured into one. Now you've got to clear them all, and it's not just yours; it's your ancestors too. So it is a gift and a responsibility. It's what we chose to carry by being here in this lifetime. And so you're not just clearing yours. So keep that in mind. Okay. Sometimes we don't fully understand what we're clearing. Jacinth can vouch for that for sure. Right. Because she cleared a big piece of Catholicism, which wasn't really hers necessarily to carry, but it was the bloodlines. And so it's a bit like, you know what I mean, outside of ourselves, but it's truly just following those heart nudges and not letting anything stop you from whatever those shadow pieces are, right? And then after you do your life self-growth, you choose self-growth, you choose to choose the light, you choose love, unconditional love only. It's a big deal, because we don't realize how much the shadow really has a hold of us, right? Aw, thank you, Roger. Tomorrow's the birthday. Thank you so much. But then after you choose to self-develop, it's about self-development. It's about self-growth. Okay. Well, and that's how it plays out for you. Then you get your DNA activations and you call your power back and you recalibrate to the earth. So it's kind of the same way I did for the animals. And we got to see it happen all at one time. It was so cool. Aw. Thank you, Roger. That is so sweet. Warms my heart completely. I appreciate that. The only sad part for me is my DM didn't seem to care. It was my birthday or, anything. And then I lost my DM shortly after my birthday last year. So it's a little bittersweet for me, but I just wanted to make sure I can give back on my birthday. So I really appreciate that. But what you guys really need to hear is what's happening. And maybe it's a little hard for people to understand. Maybe it's a little hard for people to truly fathom, and it immediately triggers judgment in you and your shadow pieces because of who I am. Okay. And so that's the detriment, is that's what I'm supposed to help trigger in you so that you can heal it and release it. But most people let that take over them. They let judgment take over. They let their shadow pieces take over, and they dissipate and disappear and don't do the work. And it's really sad. Because in order to get into the new earth, it's self-development. You have to grow as a person. You have to grow out of the choices you would have made in another lifetime that were against love, that were against unconditional love. That's truly what it's about. And to watch the animals yesterday do it, to watch us bring them through there, to watch them go through all the gates, to watch the karmic kickback that created. It's the gates that do it because they are of God. They're the ones I opened and created. And so whatever isn't of the light gets kicked back out for that level of development. Does that make sense? And so some people will go through certain gates and there won't be karma there to cleanse because their heart was already pure to that level. Then the next gate may come along as they're awakening into the energy and rising, and boom, all of a sudden it's hard, right? All of a sudden, shit, like I got knocked on my ass. I need to clear this. I need to emotionally develop this. I need to not play into fear. I need to not play into judgment. I need to not play into money, because there's money that's dark and then there's money in abundance that's light. So the ways that they would push money and make us get it and make us do things and make us see money was not of light. Okay. Can you call it in spiritually? Yes, you can. You just have to know how. Okay. You have to not choose, all of those things that are part of the shadow. Ego is a really big component of the shadow. Okay. Very big. And I pay attention to who's watching and to who's coming. And when I up level and talk more about, hey, I opened the gates and I saw people just boom, drop off, boom, drop off, boom, drop off. And it's like, I hope everybody ascends. I got to put the animals all the way through, and it was such a beautiful thing to see the karma kickback. Thank God. Thank God they're free. They were suffering so bad, just like the people on this planet were. Oh, there's one more thing I got to show you guys. Another part that people aren't paying attention to, that deep water guy that Roger likes too, that spirit showed me, he tapped into this. He's like, nobody's paying attention. Nobody's paying attention. Nobody's seeing it. And that's true. Okay. So what they found, I put it in my watch later. Hang on. Is one of the biblical signs of the end of days or the return of Christ is what it is. Is this, and I'm going to show you this really, really, really quick. It's a 14-minute video. I won't show the whole thing, but it's happening. Temple has just happened. So there's talk of a third temple in Jerusalem. And if you watch the work that I do, the Garden of Eden was in Jerusalem. Okay, I talk about that. This is what I've been rising. Even the Garden of Eden is rising out of the shadows. Okay, it's in Jerusalem. There was a Holocaust there. They tried to burn and kill anybody who is of the light. They've done it all across the lifetime. Salem, Jerusalem, all of that. And my DM did clear that blood out of it in one of our workshops. So that makes sense too. But this is one of the signs of times. This is a biblical, what they talk about in the Bible a lot. Okay, is that when the third temple, there's a ceremony to rebuild it and it's rebuilt. It's the sign of the return of Christ.
The third temple to be the physical location of God's divine presence, which has immense theological significance. The temple is more than just a building. It's also a spiritual hub where people can commune with the divine. According to Ezekiel, the Holy of Holies left the second temple during the prophet's lifetime,
but it
will return at some point in the future. Preparations for the third temple continue apace as the Jewish people return to the Holy Land in fulfillment of prophecy. A large number of Jews from all over the world are moving back to Israel, which is seen by believers in end-time prophecy as a fulfillment of biblical prophecies. Many of these predictions center on the foundation of the current state of Israel in 1948. The Temple Institute and the Temple Mount Faithful movement are just two of the Jewish groups that have been working hard to get ready for the rebuilding of the third temple by doing things like breeding a red heifer and making ceremonial clothes and vessels. Preparations for the reconstruction are underway with the help of the
So if you're not
Temple
hearing
Institute
that, there's already tons of signs of the times. Jerusalem is already doing what I said they would do a while ago, which was rise again. Okay. It is biblical. And if you want to know the true Bible, there's a Jerusalem version that Spirit nudged me to as well. So that is where Jesus was. Okay. And I believe the Euphrates River could be where he died, because that is where I cleared that shadow. And that's when that really started drying out. So, and that happened like 2 years ago when I freed his soul for the first part of it. So I've been doing this work for some time. This isn't just something I've started talking about today and started doing today, you guys. It started from the ground up for me, from my awakening to doing all these things. It's very biblical. The portals with the animals, they've made it through. The Nile and the energy is there. So we don't really have a lot of time left to clear these things, to heal, to choose love over all of it, and to self-develop. Okay. Because when you are to the final gate, I do the heart review and you're given your key or not. Okay. And that's how it works. All right. And when I pulled the animals through, it was such a beautiful experience to see all that. There was karmic kickback, not because of the animals, though. It went to the humans that created it. Okay. There were, again, there was crossbreeding, which was okay. But the ones that were not was all the petri dish animals, all the ones that were walking around without a soul, all of these lab created, lab tested, genetically modified. It was brutal. It was really, truly brutal what they did. And so that's just like scratching the surface of the horror that we once lived in. All right. And so just consider that. But all the signs are there that we were actually in the end of the prophecies. Okay. The Blue Hopi prophecy goes along with everything I did. I've said that from day one in a lot of my workshops. And then the book of Revelations does. and then the Dead Sea Scrolls. Now, I also said in the Dead Sea Scrolls that they were going to oust something that they've been hiding eventually too. So I can't wait to see that. I really can't. So I know y'all don't want to hear about that anymore, right? Everybody just wants to be like, I don't want to hear it, although it's important stuff. But who wants free messages? Because that's really what today's about. It's a birthday celebration. Again, I didn't quite get what I wanted, but I did get through the gates myself. I opened the gates. I completed my journey in a very beautiful way. And so truly, I'm very proud of myself, even if the DM didn't love me. That sucks. But it is what it is, right? That's okay. That's the only part of the journey that didn't come to fruition so far. I don't know what's happening. I really don't want to know anymore. I'm trying not to think about it. It is the biggest gift. Absolutely. Right before my birthday, I got to go through the gates. I got to bring the animals through the gates. I got to bring Descent through the gates and just watch how it happens. It's the most amazing thing to see how it happens. To do a heart review, Michelle says, I would love a message. Yes, exactly. Amy's right. It is very important and should be spoken about until people listen. It is very important because it's life or death. It's you're either going to God or you're not. And if you don't, it's a repeat of everything. It's you start all over from your day one cycle of karmic cleansing. Okay? So it is actually a very big deal. It's not just as simple as, oh, I choose not to, but I don't really know what I'm choosing. And then the next thing you know, you're wiped from God's energy and you have to start all over learning love again. So, some of us don't want to suffer anymore. Some of us are tired of the pain. Some of us want love, unconditional love. We want freedom. We want beauty of what the earth always was meant to be, and then some. And those are the ones that are going to do the work and going to want to remain. Okay? So it is important. And Amy's right. It should be talked about until people listen. But, I can't make people listen. Honestly, I have to tread lightly with that because you don't want to bring judgment and stuff my way, you know what I mean? Because it cuts them off from light really quickly. So I try to be very careful with that. That's right. I want love. I choose love. Yep. Me too. So, and it is such a good feeling. It is, you guys, I can't even describe to you the feeling of having your whole entire karmic contract be erased. I've experienced it twice. Jacinth and I got to go through about the same time. And it's literally your karmic contract erased. You have met the shadow. You've cleared for what you've chosen into it before, right? This is just, everybody's journey is different because of that. But to see that be erased is the coolest feeling I've ever had. And then God gave me, which I will give others, because with Jacinth, I gave her the key and I led her through the gates. I walked her through, and then we give her a blank slate, like a blank page for the Akashic Records, and her own pen. And it's a golden pen. And I got the same thing. And then they said that I do those heart reviews, which I'm like, I don't know how that's all going to play out for everybody. It might just be energetic because you can't cross those gates if there's any shadow left. So it is a review. And some people won't choose to clear their shadow the whole way. Right? And then those are the ones they start all over again, like a complete start over. You don't get left off where you left off. It turns out you start completely over and you go somewhere else to do it. You can't stay. So Amy is very right. It is important and it should be spoken about until people listen. And the animals yesterday was a freaking amazing. That was so cool to see. So is Michelle the only one who wants a message? Like, what? I'm giving away free messages. You guys, I have a really cool course coming up too on how to read between the lines. So how to spirit communicate. I've been working on that course, but this is like a continuation from that course for how to read cards, oracle cards, tarot cards, how to, what tools are good to use, which ones are not, like which ones go forward, which ones do not, right? And so it's a really cool course. And in it, there was actually a scripture of how everybody has to listen to Jesus. And I don't think that it was placed in the right context because it was in the tarot cards. You know how they say tarot cards are darkness? And I should read that. Let me see if I can't read it really quick because it's really important before I do the messages, and then we'll do those. I was looking about the origin of tarot cards. You know how people say they're all dirty? They're not. Absolutely, you guys. I got you. Cool. I'm glad you guys want one. These are my gifts. So what happened was it was made by people who chose to use it for profit and things that are not of the light, but it depends on your energy, right? Now, there was a person who wrote about what he felt from God. And in it, it says, like, you have to follow Jesus and what Jesus says, what God says. If you know who I am, it's kind of relevant, especially for what I talk about with the gates and that I hold the keys. So timing is everything with these things, right? It truly is. But I want to read this to you guys because I feel like it's a little bit out of context, but I feel like it's still very relevant. Because, you know, when I say these certain things, like you have to do this, people are like, well, I can do it my way. We can bypass God. And you can't. There's a reason why you have to do it the way I designed it. It's to clear your shadow. Each gate you're kicked back for the shadow and the karma, and you have to clear it and do self-development. And by the time you get to the gates of heaven, if you go through all the gates and you choose growth, you should be cleared of your shadow, hopefully. But I want to read this, and then I go into a discussion in the course itself, okay? So St. John, this is interesting. Is that John the Apostle? I don't know. I don't think so. He was a saint. So this is what it says, though. Listen to this. They specifically put this about tarot cards, and this is not right. Okay. Tarot cards are a tool. Just like every tool, it's in the light of the beholder. Okay. That's why we get a bad name for some tools. So it depends on your heart. And I teach this in all my courses. Depends on your heart, and it depends on your intention of use of that tool. Okay. If you're using it in light, then it's a tool of light. If you're using it for dark or intentions of selfishness or whatever the case may be, then it's no longer of the light. Okay, but this is what he wrote about it. And I feel like this is relevant for the gates of heaven. So I think it was just misplaced out of context. God has loved the world that he gave his only son, for whoever believes in him may not die, but may have eternal life. Now, the Ankh speaks of this, right? That's the new earth. That's eternal life. It's the life of God, okay? Jesus is the light of the world, shining through the darkness. Maybe Jesus is also masculine and feminine, and my DM didn't step up, but it's also who I am, okay? He is the way, the truth, and the life. And so what I think this truly means, but they put it out of context. It's not about damn tarot cards, okay? Everything is the same, though. If you use it out of light, you're cut off. Okay, you have to be. It's got to go. To invoke Satan or any other power to enter the darkness, okay? So he is the way, the truth, and the life. To invoke Satan or any other power to enter the darkness or any assistance or to attempt to usurp powers which belong to God alone is a defiance of the authority of Almighty God. To commit such act is to turn away from God and place our own souls in jeopardy. I feel like that is relevant for the ascension, not for just tarot cards. So I wanted to share that. I needed to share that. Okay, I'm going to actually place that in the chat because it won't let me. It's too big. They won't let me. But I'll do another video on that another day because it's super important. Okay. They put this for tarot cards. Now that is silliness. Don't invoke fear for tools. Tools are in general. Okay. It's either you use the light for good intention or for not good intention. And this is what I said when they gave me the Eye of Ra back, is that if it's not used of the light, I have to take it away. If people don't clear the shadow, they can't go through the gates of heaven. Okay. It's Jesus is the way. Okay. There's a reason I designed what I designed. I opened the gates. I cleared the way. I cleared the shadow, and it has to be done that way. And if you choose against that, you place your own soul in jeopardy. That is the ascension. Okay. Tools are a byproduct of that. If you use the tools for anything that is not of the light, you place your soul in jeopardy. Okay. That's why they give these things a bad name. Is the Ouija board bad? No, it's the user. However, the Ouija board was created for fear. It's like a joy of fear. Like that's how they pushed it. It wasn't originally created that way, but that's how they pushed it. So there is more darker energy with that. But can you use it for the light? Yes. You just have to know what you're doing. Okay. So this was part of my new course. So I thought that was very relevant and something I needed to share. Okay. Because anything outside of what I do say puts your soul in jeopardy. Because I am who created it. I'm the one who opened it. I'm the one who did it. I know what I'm talking about. Okay. Because I had to do the same thing. And the animals, we saw that yesterday. Those that did that with me, you saw it. They would go through the portal and get a kickback of karma. Okay. The animals didn't have the karma. It was the people who did it. Right. So it was really cool to witness. Very cool to see. But very important, you guys. That's why they say I hold the key. Okay. Not only do I hold the actual key of what you need to do to get into the gate, but I hold the key that gets you in the gate. Okay, because that's a review. So when you get through the gates and you go to the gates of heaven, your review is done. And if your karma is cleared and you're of pure love and intention, it's wiped clean. You get into the gates with your key, and then you're given a blank slate with a golden pen, and you get to write your future. Talk about a blessing. I'm all for that. Like, I'm done suffering, okay? I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to suffer anymore. So Michelle was the one who said she wanted a message first. So we're going to go with that. And then Lisa says, me 3, but I think she means me 2. Yeah, she said me 2, please. And then we have Donita, which I have not had the privy to have in my energy in quite a while. So that is awesome. Do I have that right so far? And then Amy. So we have Michelle, Lisa, Donita, and Amy, right? I mean, I could say Emerald Mermaid 888. There we go. Michelle, Lisa, Emerald Mermaid, and Amy so far for free messages. Okay. Usually I do general. If you guys want to know a specific thing, that's fine. But you can also just put the intention into spirit for in the general as well. It's up to you. Let me grab a different deck really quick. You guys can come with me on Tuesday too. I'm still trying to figure out a giveaway. I haven't quite felt into that yet because there's a lot of people who are not hearing me. That's not you guys, right? And so it's really hard for me to offer a giveaway when they already think what I say is bullshit. I'm being kind. That's from the love of my heart. So I'm trying to think of a good one. You know what I mean? Like what would be a needed good giveaway right now? But right now it's messages. That's all I could come up with. So I'm doing this today. I'm doing another one on Tuesday. And then when I figure out the giveaway, I will let you guys know what I want to give away. So that's where I stood with that. I need to pick a card from a different deck. Boom, boom, boom. All right. I got my other new deck on its way to me too. I'm super excited about that because I have 2 decks that I've made it now. I've created, I channeled, I created. This was my very first raw deck, right? Like I did not want to conform it to their technicalities, so I left it natural. I do have 2 of these left on my website though for sale. I need to order some more of these. This is a really good deck. This deck can help you connect in mediumship. Oh, sweet. Absolutely. That's what I'm here for, Sunshine. I would love to. So we have Michelle, Lisa, Amy. Sorry. Nope. Michelle, Lisa, Emerald Mermaid, Amy, and Descent. I'm trying to call you by that name. It's so hard because I know your real name. Oh, and I just dropped the cards. Hang on. Bum, bum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Oh, by the way, we saw the Barbie movie last night. That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. That was horrible. It was horrible. I was like, I can't believe I'm watching this movie. I can't believe my daughter's watching this movie, but she was raised differently than that. You know what I'm saying? But like, I don't recommend that movie. Oh my gosh. Talk about an imbalance in the masculinity and the femininity. And like, it was all political and just this big gobbledygook. That's all I can say about that. I was like, even my kids were like, what did we just watch? I'm like, I don't know, my dudes. I don't know. Lord help us all. Thank God things are changing. I don't recommend that movie. It was like this horribleness against masculines. Like, talk about, like, oh gosh. And then we were like, well, Ken was created as an accessory. I'm like, that is just so wrong. It was like so wrong in so many ways. Oof. So I'm with the reviews that were horrible on that one. All right, Michelle, you are up. Let's get moving on the grooving. Get moving on the grooving. Yeah, Amy's got this deck too. She loves using these. So these are a really good deck. They're guidance from the other side, from our loved ones and guides. But this actually can connect you to a mediumship session, like help you to deliver messages from their loved ones. But it also is like a self deck where you can use it for daily guidance. This deck is a little bit of everything. It doesn't come with a booklet because of that. And that's why I'm also doing the course on how to read cards. Okay. Because the way I teach things, the way that I do things is not third dimensional. Right. And so I don't like books. And I talk about that in my courses because only will I ever read the book if Spirit tells me, hey, there's a little something in there they want you to recognize. For the most part, that is so structured and everybody's so different. Okay. So I just kind of want you guys to look at things that way. And they're meant to be felt and understood that way from how we feel them. Okay. So my new deck is the same way. It doesn't come with a book either. That one is the Ascension Portal. So I should be getting that one shortly. And when I do, I will be delivering messages from it. I'm so excited for that one too. But Michelle, excuse me, I'm getting in your energy and releasing right away. There is resistance and hesitation already. So I'm going to have to stabilize your aura. It's like a battlefield. So hang on. Excuse me. I feel like a battlefield when I'm entering into your energy, Michelle. I hope you're still with me because my numbers are never reflective of the truth. So I hope you are still with me. There's 2 decks I've got to call for you. Michelle, are you still with me this time? Are you ready for your message? Because I'm already rolling with it. She says, I am here. I get to use one deck for you that I haven't used in a very long time, and it deals with goddess energies, goddess power. So that is what I'm tapping into. You're literally in the energy of a goddess lifetime, and like warrior. You are a warrior, but you have been beaten in battle several times over, and that's what I'm hearing here, and that's what's rising. So even to get into your energy, it's like a war zone. It's like a battle cry. It's like, I'm tattered, I'm tired, I'm beaten, and I don't want anybody in my energy right now. Okay, so I'm calming this energy, I'm calming this bubble, I'm clearing some of the muck that is there, and you are right now knee deep in a karma cleanse of a goddess lifetime. Okay, so that's part of what we're doing, you guys, is clearing past lives too. She says, oh my God, that's so true. Thank you for validating that, because I wouldn't have known that at all either way. But yeah, no, that's very true. It's very serious because you guys, this was like a brutal time period. I'm seeing like bloodshed. I'm seeing like, like I'm famished. I'm tired, like constantly fighting for your life. Okay. And that is literally what you're playing out at this time. So the choices that you're clearing deal with that time frame, that shadow. It's a shadow of acceptance. Okay. It's learning to love yourself and accept yourself no matter who does around you. That's a big piece of it. There's always layers though. Okay. So here's the message. I am proud of everything you have done and will do. Okay. Because this message speaks of you not being alone. All right. I was right by your side on your special day, and I am proud of everything you have done and will do. So what I'm hearing here is you feel very alone, but you're not alone. So, but the problem is it's not in physical form. There are a lot of love around you. It's just maybe not where you were hoping it would come from. Okay. So it's not exactly a physical vessel. You do have a father energy actually by your side, and a grandfather too, and a great grandfather. So there's masculine energy surrounding you right now for a reason. It's very important. It's a necessity. I need that support. I need that validation. I need that verification. And I need that love from a masculine side. Okay. This talks about allowing grief to cause you to miss life. Okay, live your life. All right, this is a big component. It's like, I feel battled, I feel torn, I feel misunderstood, misrepresented to a great degree. Like, I can't even tell you how much that is in your energy. It's like so misrepresented, so misunderstood. And it's like the battle cries, I am wounded, get the fuck out of my energy, right? Like, I am tired, I am tired of bullshit, I am wounded. But they're saying is the right energies are right by your side, and it's a proud energy. Like, I am very proud of you. I am very proud of the things that you are doing. I am very proud of the things that you still will do. So don't forget to look for that guidance, right? The guidance from the energies around you, because those are the ones that are guiding you to safety, that are guiding you to true love and recognition of another kind. But the thing is while you're in this energy, do not allow grief and that feeling to cause you to push the wrong people away. That's what Spirit's saying. I have to pull another card. I feel like it's like to push people away. So maybe not necessarily not living your life. I feel like you do like to live your life, but you're afraid to share it in any way. And so you push a lot of people away, but be careful doing that. Okay. Allow Spirit to help you with that, because you might push the wrong person away. Okay. So living your life, don't allow the grief to cause you to miss it. Okay. Don't allow those sorrows and those tattered pieces to cause you to watch other people living their life passing you by, and to create a scenario where you truly are alone. Okay. In the physical form, because you're not. And the right people will come be by your side if you allow them to do so. But there's this energy of, I'm battered, I'm tired, and I've been in a war zone for many lifetimes. And so I tend to want to push everybody away, because everybody, it's that lack of validation in the right way. People don't see me right. People don't feel me right. Okay, this is a big deal, because as you're rising in vibration, the wrong people, or the ones that don't match, not wrong, the ones that don't match that vibration will fall away naturally. Okay, as long as you are doing you. The ones that are right and matching that vibration will try to pull in, but you have a tendency to push them all away. But this is a trigger thing. This is like, I've been dealing with assholes my whole life. Okay, so it's learning the true acceptance, learning true love. This is a deep battle cry, and it right now is fully represented in a goddess lifetime. Okay, so let's see what these cards have to say. So these are shadow components, okay? It's this lifetime and all lifetimes. I've said that before. So make sure you consider it as such. Do releasing, try to heal, try to love through that. Try to choose love through that, okay? So then we have Ariane Hood, time. Time. This is against all time. This is a time warp, though, too, like number 3. So this is definitely reflective of your healing past time and this time. Okay, but then also divine wisdom. Okay, so as you make it through this, a further awakening is assured. Deeper wisdom, deeper self-enlightenment, deeper acknowledgement, but also power. Okay, power, further steps into the soul that you are. All right, because there's multiple lifetimes. We all have multiple titles, multiple lifetimes, multiple energies in which we've come in. Some more than others. I've had very few. You've had quite a few, but this one is really big in the goddess energy right now. Okay, so divine wisdom is already within. It is your time to heal, to be seen, to be known, to be felt, and to be heard, but by the right light. So your challenge is to not push everybody away through this healing process. Your challenge is to accept love of another kind, and it starts with you. And I'm giving you the validation that you needed, is what they're saying. So we can't get that from everybody, but God will always give it to you. Okay? Because they are proud of you. They are recognizing you on a soul level first. Okay? So don't push the right ones away through the difficult challenges that are in play. Union, love, somebody being right by your side, having that feeling of a special day. Okay? And there is an energy of I'm proud of you that needed to be heard and felt. Very proud of the work that you were doing. It is being recognized. And it's creating ripple effects. More than you know. Okay? That was a beautiful message. Trust yourself is what they're saying. But you don't have to express that outward right away. So right there, that speaks volume. I don't have anybody to push away. I'm literally all alone in this realm. Why? I don't think that's a correct statement. I think maybe you already pushed away. So when you open yourself up to love, they will come back around. But that's the key here, is don't push people away because of that grief, because of that fear that others have brought upon you through harming you, through not understanding you, through not taking the time to understand you, and so on and so forth. Okay? Now your challenge is to open back up to love and not have expectations in which it will come from. Okay? Does that make sense? I don't feel like you're all alone. I feel like you're put up a barrier that causes people not be able to come through because you're not sure who the right ones are and the wrong ones are. And that's when we allow spirit to help us with that. So that's past. That's exactly what I'm reflecting on. That's not today. Okay? There's a reason for that. And that's what they're saying. Okay? It's you've allowed what has happened to you to block you off to love. And this stems from many lifetimes, not just this one. That's exactly what they're saying. It's your choice. But if you can let all that go without judgment and realize that it's your energy that is blocking it off, that is putting everybody out, that is pushing everybody away. That's what Spirit's saying. It's your energy doing it. Okay? It's not theirs. It's yours. You're doing this to protect yourself, but you're hurting yourself. Okay. I'm just hoping that makes sense. Because you can open that up. This is your challenge. It's like a portal challenge. You can absolutely open that up. It's a vulnerability. That doesn't mean reach out to them. What it means is start really emanating love. Really dive deep into how to love yourself and open up your energy and ask Spirit to protect you from those that don't have your best interest at heart, but to align you to those that do. And when people come towards you, you can't judge them. That's not for you to do. Let Spirit guide that. Okay, we forget that. Let Spirit say, hey, Spirit, protect me for those who are not for me and bring those to me that are. And then let the rest unfold for you. And as long as you're coming from a space of self-love and self-development, then the right ones will come through. Okay? That's your challenge right now. And the portal you're working through. Aww, that's so sweet. Lisa's like, I'm sending you so much blessings of love and joy and abundance. That's so sweet. I love that. It's actually a really good message. And when people have hurt us a lot, this is a common energy to carry. It's not like you're trying to do anything. It's because people have hurt you, especially in a past life too, to this one. That's that time, space continuum. Right? That was awesome. Very beautiful. I loved it. I loved that message. All right, you guys. Who was next? It was Lisa. And then Emerald Mermaid. And then Amy and Descent. Think I got it right. Okay. Lisa, there's that song again. Oh my. You're so welcome. Yay. Totally on point. I love that. Love it, love it, love it. I'm hearing a song of love. I hope my DM chose me. Like, I really do want him to step up. It's my birthday, you know? Like, let's do this love thing. I don't know if we even watch these anymore, but let's do the love thing. I don't know. I don't feel like it's a new energy, so I just hold space for that every day. All about love, right? Not judgment. So much love. In the God portal, you guys, since especially into the gates, into the portal of Sekhmet and into the gates of heaven, anything that comes, it's a reflection of love towards it, right? That's all we can be. That's the whole point of it. So that should show you that's what it's all about, okay? Letting go of the shadow pieces, and you can be nothing but love. Does that mean I don't put up protections? Heck no. Boundaries are good things when used properly. All right, Lisa. So I feel like it's very interesting. So as soon as I go into your energy, Lisa, I feel that song that we covered over a while ago. It's like Lisa, sad Lisa. But it's not sad. I'm feeling like such an upbeat energy. It's like you are literally healing that. You are healing that aspect in a whole nother way, is what they're saying. Let me move these cards around so I can get your decks out. So moonology. So you are expanding into part of the ethereal. Of course you are. That's a given with all the work you've been doing. Holy majoli, I don't doubt that at all. But I feel dizzy. She's like, good. I feel dizzy. Like, I feel like I'm in between worlds right now. You're kind of in between worlds right now. We're still somewhat in the energies of the old ways, right? But we are working our way out of them at this time. So what this is telling me is you can tell when things aren't working now. Like, I can't do that. I don't want to do that anymore. That didn't work for me. Like, you're transitioning out of a lot of those things, but you're still not sure what to do instead. It's kind of that energy. Like, I used to do this. I don't feel the need to do this anymore, but what do I do now? Right? Where do I go with this now? And so it's like developing new skills. She says it's true. I remember this stage too. It's like, so developing new skills, new ways of doing things. Here's the thing. The spirit can help you with so much, but we forget to ask. So don't ever hesitate to ask for help, to ask spirit to show you, to guide you. Just don't have expectations to what that guidance will be or when it will come, right? And I know you're following your heart nudges. I see you do it every day, and they're validating that big time. But it's like old patternings are falling away. And so it's creating, like when I use this as an example, okay, because psychologically speaking, it makes a lot of sense. This is really good the way our body and our mind works is when you develop a habit like such as smoking or something, right? You need another habit to replace its way, okay? Because there's negative habits and then there's positive ones. And spirit talks about this a lot. I went through this too in some of my own portals, okay? It's coping mechanisms. You have some strong coping mechanisms and some that are falling away. Now it's developing new ones that suit you. Okay. So I can read it out any scholar book I want. It may not work for me. What does my heart want me to do right now? Okay. Instead of doing this, I used to fall into this. I used to go into this. Maybe right now I will step back, get out of my head, go into my body and dance around my house. Maybe I will create a different patterning. But start to develop it from your heart space. That's what Spirit's saying. Now, spiritual connections can help with this too, a spiritual routine. Just like when we did the course that you did with me, right? And I talked about that a lot. So a spiritual routine is a really good replacement for bad habits, okay? I used to do this. I used to get into a negative mind space. I used to do this. I used to reach out to others. And instead, I'm going to go into my heart space. I'm going to say positive affirmations in this moment. I'm going to, purge some of my old energies in my home, even if I'm doing a little square inch a day. You know what I mean? And so use those new developmental tools to replace the old ones. That not only helps you get out of them quicker, it strengthens your spiritual muscle every day. So you're developing your new habits while you're bypassing the old ones. And these are the coping mechanisms that will go forward in the new earth. Okay. We won't have the old coping mechanisms. I can't escape into alcohol and drink my sorrows away. I'm not saying you do that. I'm just saying these are the common ones they would push on us a lot, right? Taking medication so I don't feel anything, escaping, avoidant behavior. All of these kinds of things are not of God. Okay. God says, feel it, my sunshine, feel it, so we can heal it and feel joy again. Right? Don't be afraid of those nuances, those urges, those things that we hide so deeply from. Don't be afraid to let them surface and to rise so that we can overcome. That was literally coming through in a channeled message from Archangel Gabriel. Don't be afraid, dear one, for you will rise to fight another day. Sweet! Girl, I don't mind me a little cannabis every now and then. I'm not gonna lie. Did Jesus like to smoke cannabis? Mm-hmm. And then some. My DM was really, the old one was way beyond that, but I love that. Cleansing the palate to rise again on the new day. Cleansing the palate. I like how Gabriel just chimed in there. That was really sweet. Okay, whoop. Oh, hang on. Let me make sure. So you do have love. Okay, I'm going to show this, but I'm going to also clear the cards. This is talking about companionship. So again, it's more self-love. So you see how he's in a portrait, right? The person that is love is in the portrait. And you're like standing here. It's more focusing inward on you. And that's a byproduct again. Okay, so when that rises in your energy, just kind of fill it with self-love in the moment. Okay? Self-love in the moment. Let me cleanse these cards really quick of any other energies. Make sure it's your message. I haven't used them in a minute. Okay, what does Lisa need to know? Thank you. Woo! Ay, ay, ay. Popcorn energies here. There's a lot of changes coming on for you. Oh, sudden changes, sudden movements. So if you're feeling stagnant at times, use it as a time for self-development because something big is getting ready to come through. Okay. Stagnation is like a void. It's like use that moment to allow things to integrate, to work on what you're working on, to, you know what I mean? No excuses either. Okay. So here's this. So again, okay, so this is family and tribe. You have a new family and tribe coming. So whenever we go through awakenings, you guys ever realize how sudden awakenings, people all of a sudden find themselves alone? They can't relate to anybody again. Like the people they did relate to, they don't relate to anymore. It's like butting heads. I feel alone. I feel more lonely now than I've ever felt in my whole life. There's a reason for that. It's because we are letting go of vibrations that don't match ours anymore. Okay. There's a karmic patterning and then there's a soul connection patterning. The new earth is no karma at all. Okay, you can't have karmic relationships. We can't have karmic lessons anymore. We have to learn them as self-development. So if you're in karmic relationships, they must fall away. Not only that, the vibrations don't match. So you are literally letting go of karmic patterning still. Okay, so even in the moments that you feel alone, your soul tribe is already starting to work its way towards you. So pay attention to that. It's going to come in ways and energies that you've never noticed before. These are not karmic patterning relationships. This is big for you because you're going to look for what you're familiar with and it's not going to match that. And then you might have a tendency to push it away. Except those were karmic patterning relationships. Okay. Karmic pattern relationships aren't just like our loved ones. They're our best friends. They're coworkers. They're reflected through our family members. And so sometimes there's a separation of family for a while that occurs. But once the family starts to to heal, they tend to work their way back together. Okay. So some of these will separate and come back. Once these choices are made, karmic is cleansing. So if your family, like mine did, in the end, I had to choose some things through my family as well, is part of your karmic ties, which usually they are, soul patterning, healing. You push away, you choose to heal those, which heals them in them, causes them to do the same thing. And then once that's cleared, you tend to come back together in a more soul contract way of love and light. Okay. So not every separation is permanent, but we tend to get a little scared sometimes because of that, right? Like, I love them, I don't want to lose them. And so we'll sink into old patterning. Do not ever lower yourself for that standard. This is what Spirit is saying for you. But in general, this works across the board. It is time for you to have faith. So your faith is being shaken for a reason, because you don't understand this new faith. That's what Spirit's telling me. You're used to the Old Testament in faith. And so it's like, wait a minute, there's a difference here. 2-2 is also being reflected here. It's soul pattern growth and development, and coming together with our master contacts, right? So again, relieving karmic patterning, coming together with closer soul ties, okay? So you got a little bit of healing left to do that. I hope this is making sense. I know I'm going fast, but it's what Spirit wants me to say. Have faith. So this card still has that cross on it. That's not real, is it? There's a reason for that. It's like so embedded manipulation, fraternization, and you're trying to detach from that, but still it's like, well, how do I hold on to this if it's tied to that? So that's the problem with that. That's the tricky part with that. It's just like what I said about tarot, right? They're putting messages together that don't quite belong. They do it for manipulation and fear, and it's like, no. That part is what puts your soul in jeopardy. Okay? Don't ever question God. Just because people would use his name in vain doesn't mean everything was tainted that way. All right? Like the Bible itself, I can pick out in certain Bibles what is of God and what is not, what is used for manipulation and what is not. And that's what hurt the most, is there are truths that became tainted in that. Okay? So faith, find a new faith. Find a new way to purify that faith that you have. That's the stage you're going into right now. It's letting go of old karmic patterning and understanding true faith of the gods, of God, because it's different from what you were taught. So it's a different transition, right? It's like, I got to let go fully of this old patterning, but understanding that some of that will come with me as well. I hope that makes sense. And then a family and tribe is coming through. So you have 2-2-2-2. 2-2-2-2. Remember, those are new blueprints to love. Okay? So when you are ready is the only time your soul tribe will come. That is the time your soulmate will come through, is when you are ready. No sooner can it be done. So have faith that it's already working out in your favor. It's already happening through you and to you, because nothing can happen unless it happens through us. Miracles only exist through you, meaning that God cannot do anything to you that your higher self or your soul does not approve of. Free will only. Okay? And things can block that. So that's what you need to decipher. What is true faith and what is not? It's not an easy task. That's the portal you're in right now. But you're also letting go of all those karmic ties. You're understanding a little bit more about those now. So it's becoming clearer to see. It's not so vulnerable feeling. There you go. Yeah. Just be careful. Right? Talking can be good, but it can also be dangerous at this time. So there's a balance there. And then assess the situation came through. Okay? So I know you're still looking for that external validation. So just be very careful. Okay? Because remember the lay of the land in that too. Okay? Nice. So sweet. Just be careful. Here's the thing, Lisa, is when you're working with me, you need to be very careful with the vibrations around you. Why do you think that is? Because I'm judging people? I want to know, why do you think I would say that? Does anybody who's worked with me long enough know what that means? What happens when you start going through the gates of the one? Does it mean to shy away from people? No. But there is a red flag coming up in the energy here. You're looking for external validations from people that may not be able to give them. So just be very careful. Okay. Amy says, others will judge you and see your light and attack because your path is direct. I am the one. Okay. And so you are in the highest energy healing possible. And shadow pieces do come through in unexpected ways through individuals we don't see it coming through. So that is why it's more important to be in our heart and not use our mouth so much. Go be there, right? Be there. Just don't allow yourself to, how do I give this in the right way? Like, for instance, when I had my awakening, I had a friend around me and I wanted to tell them what was happening, and Spirit said, don't do it. And I couldn't figure out why. And then as soon as I did, I saw their true colors shine through, and I don't even think they still realized what they reflected on me at that time. It happened subconsciously, and it hurt. Did y'all hear that? That was weird. Okay. It hurt. Okay. It didn't just hurt me though. It hurt them. I know, right? So you need to be careful because there's something here about that. So remember when I started your message, I started singing that song, Lisa, Lisa, sad Lisa, Lisa. You are a very much so external validator. And right now you are letting go of karmic patterning relationships. Okay. And so you have to be very careful with the shadow because you may just try to find another one and it may hurt you on your path. So just be very careful with that. It's less here, more here. Does that mean we can't go around people? No. Okay. Intentions need to be pure. You don't know who you're dealing with. Just because somebody presents as spiritual, you guys, does that make them spiritual? And 1212 on my end. Can I get an amen on that one? Assess the situation of the heart. So if you're going to a sound bath and their sound is not a high vibration, do you want to let that in? I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it's not. But if you're going to be honest with yourself and ask, are you looking for an external validation or did Spirit guide you to this place? Can I get another amen? Right? Like, this is good stuff. Because we've all been there. Okay. Me, not Elizabeth. I was more guarded than I should have been. That was my fault because I had to be protected. But so that's what these, and I can't make this up, Lisa. This is what before I even pulled the cards. Work through your feelings. Okay. That's fine. And that doesn't always make it right either. So I would ask Spirit about it. Okay, let Spirit guide you at this time. So if you remember me saying, how many of you worked with me, remember me saying, allow Spirit to guide you only. Internal guidance, internal validations, because the shadow is going to work through those around you. The shadow is a test of time, and it plays out karmically for you how it got you before. Okay, everybody I know has experienced this at some point on their journey to the gates. Myself, it happened to me too. Okay. Even that one person who like threw daggers at me when I was going to do the moon, all of a sudden popped into my energy and I didn't know why. And I didn't know what was coming with the moon yet either. This was my first moon cleansing workshop that I was doing. And she tried to sway me out of it. She was like all nice to me. And I was like, cool. You know, I was like, I don't really have time to deal with this, but I can help with this. And she goes, I don't need that from you. And it was like, but that dealt with the healing that hurt me prior with her daughter. Okay. It's a complicated story. I don't want to get into all the details, but it is a really good example because if I would have listened to her and it seemed legit, it seemed like, hey, she wanted to hear our relationship, but in truth, she didn't have anything positive to say or anything that she did wrong or anything like that. Okay. In truth, it was to try and sway me from the work that I was doing. And something in my heart in the end said, this isn't right. I need to focus over here. And then boom, I cleared the moon. So she was actually very connected to that moon and tried to stop me in the energy before it happened. Okay. So sometimes when you're working in my energy, you're about to upgrade in a way. You're about to come through that shadow and something is going to try to stop you. There is something being said here. Okay. So what you need to do is not let others in your area guide you. Allow your heart to guide the way. If Spirit says, hey, I'm putting this out there, ask about this, pay attention to this, it's going to come from here or your solar plexus. not from here and not from people around you. It can be a loved one, so that maybe you'll give it more energy. Okay. Because if you're doing this and your vibration is going sky high to the gates of heaven, and all of a sudden that shadow says, oh, fuck this bitch. She's going down like Donkey Kong. And I just saw 4444. And when I first started doing your message, that song came through. Lisa, Lisa, sad Lisa, Lisa. So you don't like doing your journey alone. Part of your shadow is always wanting somebody to accompany you, because misery loves company. So just tread lightly with that. So what the cards actually says is assess the situation, tend to the details. Sit with it, ask spirit about it. Do not let the shadow guide you. Okay? I don't care how your sister says, oh, they're great. Her vibration matching yours by any chance? I think not. Okay? Especially if you're working with me and they are not. This is reality. This is who I am, because I'm not normal. Okay? I'm not normal. Working with me is not normal. It puts you on the path to the one, period. And when we do that, outside energies will try to sway you. Anybody who's worked long enough with me, or even at all, can vouch for this if they're open and honest. Okay? They can. And it happens more times than we know. 5555. Why? Because there's something good here. It's trying to keep you from the one. It's a battle for the soul. So the cards are reflection on that. Okay, so there's no coincidence it came up. This is actually really good stuff. So I hope you're taking it that way. It's letting go. Yep. Amy says I can vouch for that. Okay. It's letting go of karmic patterning. And I bet you she's not the only one. I feel like she's just the only one willing to admit it. It's letting go of, because then you've beat the shadow. Letting go of karmic patterning. It's learning who your real tribe and vibration are. And it might hurt a little bit, but it's having faith that God will guide the way. I am. This is why I did the video yesterday about the I am. This is why Spirit says it's super important to follow your inner guides at this time. Because if you don't, Jacinth says, I have experienced it also. Yep, for sure. Yes, and it's not easy. Okay, it's not easy. That's why we're having this conversation. But this is the thing, Lisa, and this is why the sad Lisa came up, and why I said you're letting go of old patterning, is you need to work through your feelings on your own. Okay? And you're constantly looking for that community. The community will rise to you when you are there. Okay, right now, I would let Spirit guide this one. You need to sit back, take a breath. I can't make these cards up, and it's all green. You see the colors in these cards are heart-centered. Okay, take a breath. This one is about being grounded and working through your feelings on your own. I know you're so ready for people to join you on this experience and to have this experience with you, but they may not be your soul tribe. They may not be the ones who are meant to. We never know who's going to make it through. And sometimes us doing the work will cause them to follow through eventually. Okay. But while you're on the path with me, you need to be very careful to who comes in to try to stop you. It's happened, and it's happened, and it's happened again. Okay. And something didn't feel right about that. So your sister may have been like, hey, maybe she's carrying a shadow component that you're entering out of, you're exiting out of. Consider that you guys come from the same places. So she might be carrying the patterning that you're trying to exit out of, and she doesn't want you to. Because part of the shadow trait that you have is codependency. But in a good way. And we want love. We want, not like, it's not a negative thing about you. That's not a bad thing about you, okay? But when you hear that, that's what people think of. Oh, look, they're codependent. Screw those. That's judgment. You want the validation, you want the love, and you don't like to be alone. And Spirit's saying, nay, 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 nay. You're exiting out of karmic patterning. And I feel like she's trying to trigger that within you at this time. So if I were you, you don't have to listen to me either. Okay, she says all true. So then you need to sit with Spirit, and you need to talk to Spirit and let Spirit guide you from the heart, because I'm not here to sway you. That's not me. It's your free will. Okay, but this is in your energy. And this is what the song told me right when I came in. It's sad, Lisa, Lisa. It's that same energy of I need you to validate my pain. I need you to validate my joy. I need you to validate my pain. And Spirit says, nay, nay, nay. That's the shadow. letting go of karmic patterning, learning to stand alone, ground into the earth, and allow your emotions to flow through you and heal through you, and learning and working on what you're doing at this time. So, honestly, it's a big red flag in the energy. Okay? And maybe you want to go, and maybe there's a lesson to learn. It's totally up to you. But I'm just giving you what the energy is reading in it. I'd say, nay, nay, nay. Ask your heart to guide you. Because in the earth plane, there's people who were never even meant to be here to begin with. Our family is a huge karmic tie. We choose to come in through them so that we can learn lessons and learn unconditional love. Okay? If she is a part of the shadow you came in and she's not been doing the healings you're doing, I would say, take a step back and ask your heart to guide you, because this may sway you off of your path. And vibrations are that subtle. So if I'm just going to a healing vibrational group, how in the heck could that be negative coming my way? Does anybody know that answer that I've coached at all? If I go to a vibrational group and it's just about them playing vibrations for me, how in the world could that be negative? That's a good question. Does anybody maybe know the answer of that has been through my group? Amy just sent. And I actually answered it in the beginning of this video. It's just like the tools in which we use are only tools of the sender. Okay? So if I'm Hitler and I want to manifest something into my reality, it's going to be filled with the darkness that my heart represents. If I play healing bowls and I want to use those, Amy, if they are playing lower vibrations, it will knock you back from maybe 7D to 5D and it will take you down. Exactly. That's a really good way of saying it. So they're sending out vibrations that may not be matching yours, and it might actually be part of that shadow. Okay. It might block your receptors. It might block your heart space. And it's really difficult at this time because it's the end of days. It's the end of ways, you guys. And so it is a battle for our soul. And that's why I read that scripture about what Jesus and God said, and the way they were interpreting it was just like the tools. But this is actually a very, very good full circle moment, you guys, if you guys can see it. Okay? It's a very good full circle moment. It's like Jesus and God is the only way, and things will try to sway you. But it depends on the purity of the heart of the sender. Okay? I've seen this happen so many times. There were so many people who were supposed to make it through my journey, and they would get to a certain part, and then something in the energy would sway them, and I wouldn't see them anymore. And then they miss marks and miss marks and miss marks and miss marks. People will try to move people out of my energy for a reason, because I am the one. And it's painful. We've seen it. My whole group got attacked, including my DM. And we have big hearts, so this is hard, right? Because we want people to validate. We want to help everybody. I've been there. We want to help everybody, you know? But that's why spirit works the way that they work. That's why I have the lay of the land, and that's why we put things out there a certain way, and we call them to us with pure intentions. Now, that means they may still show as shadow, but at least their heart is pure, and we can help them through that shadow. It's when their heart is not pure, because they may have a big gaping black hole in it, like my other DM did. And then he tried to kill me. Okay? Really good examples, because it's something to be taken seriously. And I love the fact that this came through here, Amy. Or not Amy, sorry, Lisa. Sorry, it's because you answered my question. Because it's spirit showing you, because you don't know. Right? You don't know. This is a really good way, and I just got chills all the way up. They're trying to protect you from something here. Now, is it a subconscious or a conscious intention from her? It's probably subconscious. She's part of the same shadow you came from. This is part of your karmic patterning removal. Can I see the karmic patterns? And they deal with codependency for you. Yeah, I love that. See, further understanding. But again, it's for you to choose. So ask your heart to guide you. Okay, it'll show you. This was a really good one for everybody, though. So I really do thank you for bringing this forward, Lisa, because it's a full circle moment from the scripture I read about Jesus and God. It's a full circle moment for the tools that we use and the lessons we need to learn in them, and why I say we must upgrade them. Why I say that if this what Spirit wants me to say, Lisa, and I'm like tongue tied because it's so good. Recently, I said in one of my videos, okay, that if they're not upgrading their DNA and in the vibration and going through the portals, they're not healing you through the light. Period. Because it's the end of days. You guys don't realize that when I've shown you these workshops, people get into judgment and go, I want some proof in the physical. Trust me when I tell you we don't want the Nile to dry up right now, because then you can't go any further in healing. It's done. Okay? So we don't really want that. But what I'm telling you is it's really happening in the physical. All right. So you need to take that as a sign that, and Spirit literally said that, and I have said many times over, because I can feel it in the energy that people are doing it, is if they are not healing through the DNA activations and the new light codes and the new Christ energy, they are healing you through a shadow. Because that is the only divide that exists on this plane at this time. And I have a feeling that you're trying to share this new energy. You're trying to share the love that you're feeling. You're trying to get other people involved in this healing, but it may not be coming from the light. So watch that. Pay attention to who you guys are listening to. Pay attention to who's giving you healings, especially if you're on a journey with me, because it's a battle of the souls. And I can't take you out of free will. It's totally up to you. But this is God saying, hey, look, it's all right here. Beautiful, beautiful examples. Beautiful. Okay. And I see this all the time. We're going to assume that our friends, they know what they're doing, especially people who've been doing healings for a long time. But I can actually point out the ones that are upgrading in the way they're doing things, the things that they're saying. They can tell it's the end of time. They can feel it in the energy, like De La Roca, right? Or even that deep diver water guy, whether he's of the highest light or not, he may have shadow pieces to heal still, and he does, but he's still tuning into the changes at this time. He's still upgrading his energy. He's still coming from a place of love. So you have to be very, very careful with that. Very careful. If they don't hear what you're saying at all, that's a red flag, my friends. Okay? I've been around people who go, I thought I was doing things just fine. Why do I need to change? Sweetheart, you don't know how much I've changed this earth and who I am. You have to change with it, or you don't stay here and you're not healing in Christ light. The choice is you go to God or you don't. Two worlds we're living in, okay? This is a great example for you, because I don't want to see you get knocked off of, and it's up to you. You can if you want to, because it's just about healing, learning, lessons. But I feel like there's a warning here for a reason. Okay? Really good stuff. It's like full circle moments galore in that one. That was awesome, Lisa. Thank you so much. And you guys that are in my Patreon, I want you guys to choose this next month's healing event. So throw out some ideas. Absolutely. You're so welcome. This is a big warning for you, for sure, because you're learning. You're like I said, you're in between worlds and you're trying to learn the difference between karmic patterning and not. And this is a big one. Okay. And you can bypass this lesson or you can go through it. It's totally up to you. But for Patreon this next month, you guys, if you can throw out what's needed, I might try to create a workshop that encompasses all of that. Okay. Yes, but be careful what you're soaking up, my love. You don't want the wrong energy in the sponge, because not everybody's going to make it through. All right. Can I get an amen? Woo, woo. This is a good one. God is in the house. I'm not a churchgoer at all, but I feel it today. It's in the spirit. I love it. I love it. Oh, man. I love it. Woo, woo. Who is next? And you guys can decide what we're doing in Patreon. I want to kind of combine all your ideas too. Ah, sweet. All right, Donita, sorry. I'm like, I know your name, but I don't mean to just throw it out there in case. She wants a general. It's been a minute too. Ooh, transitioning out of that one, my pineal gland is going nuts. Oh, hang on just a second. I hate to wipe my nose or blow my nose on live video or on any video, but if I don't, it'll be yucky. Okay, so I liked that one a lot. Now I have to switch out of the card. I do have a mermaid deck because they're calling for that. So, okay. Got a little fairy energy going on and a mermaid shadow. Shadow of the mermaids. Mermaid shadow. This actually makes sense. I wish Gigi was here, but she is not. There's a huge connection going on in the energy with healing of the mermaids and Poseidon and them calling back their power. The Kraken was actually made for protection of the mermaids. Did you guys know that? I learned that recently. That's not how they depict it on movies, though, and stuff. They depict the Kraken as very bad and evil. And it is not. It was actually created for protection. Now, I keep talking about the Kraken for a reason because it's rising in the energetic flow. I feel it in the ocean. I feel it. I know that sounds kind of nuts. People probably think it is. I feel it. I feel its heartbeat. I feel this creature is awakening. I feel it moving. I feel like it may have been trapped. I don't know. But there's a mermaid shadow for you, Donita. Let's see what that means. Let's see what that's a reflection of. Big shadow piece. You're drowning in it. Okay. That's what they're saying. It's like, I'm drowning in the shadow. I'm drowning. Water, really big for you. And let's consider the Kraken was made for protection, right? And Poseidon had like 15 daughters. It's not a joke. I learned this recently. We learned this recently because a big healing piece came out for this. They're calling their power back. The Kraken was created by Poseidon, okay, as protection. They were to protect. They were to protect the mermaids. They were to protect the music. They were to protect love of the ocean, the water. And so let's just say that was taken down and mermaids were murdered. How about that? Big mermaid shadow coming through here. And I'm not making this up. I'm just diving into what Spirit's got to say, and I got to go. It's like a hurry. There's a lot going to come out here. Okay. All right. Oof. Okay. Let me decipher this here. So, so we have 8 of Wands, King of Swords, 9 of Cups, and 4 of Wands. Now, I read cards a little differently. I go with what the cards are telling me. Swords is about your power, okay? Wands is about your spiritual dignity, your spiritual growth, your understanding of the world around you, your spiritual power, right? Like my enlightenment. 4 of Wands and 8 of Wands. Both even numbers that are actually, so the 8, remember the 8 is like this infinity symbol. I keep going round. I am connected. That's relevant here. And then we have the 4 of the Wands. It's like, where's your foundation? Somebody came in and fucked with your foundation and took your power. Excuse my language. That's what literally came out here. So we have the 9 of Cups. The 9 of Cups is about emotional upheaval, but this is also like a sorcerer. So somebody literally came in and took your power. They cut your foundation out and they took your power. And this is like a way back. The King of Swords talks about having your strength to get your power back. Being in your optimum strength and taking your power back is a necessity at this time. It's a necessity at this time. It's like an upheaval. You see these wands like kind of like whew, development, infinity, which is very relevant because that's what I did to the sun and the moon. If you guys remember that, it was like the infinity sign. The energy went back and forth. But I feel like somebody like a sorcerer, like energy came in, disrupted your foundation. Wait, I got to go back. There's one more shadow mermaid card. Shadow mermaid, mermaid of the shadow of the mermaids, which makes sense because you're from Sirius. Water connection, and then missing some DNA upgrades. Missing DNA upgrades. Missing of the water. Missing of the connection of the water. Foundation. It's not destroyed, but it definitely knocked you off. Eight of Wands, because it's like, I need your power. You don't think you're powerful. That's also coming out here. You don't think you're powerful, but you are. Okay? But you are. The Fool, new beginnings, starting all over. You have to start all over. Okay? Ace of Wands. See? Starting, get your power. This is your enlightenment. Ace of Wands, you have to cleanse the slate, grab it from new. Okay, and then we have 10 of Cups, mastering your emotions so that the 9 of Cups can't take it from you anymore. Be the king of your environment and take your power back, because your enlightenment was like, it was knocked off its foundation. You have to start over. You may have asked, where do I start over? Ace of Wands, start from beginning. Clean slate, right? Like, don't think about what happened, just start from today. Guidance, where do I go from today? Do not allow the 9 to sway the 10, right? Don't allow the 9 to sway your emotion. Like emotional strength, King of Swords. Okay, precious time. Like, don't waste your time. This is big. There's something here, because this has to do with Shadow of the Mermaids. You are connected to that. It's not a joke what I did recently. The person I did them with is not here to talk about the details or anything. But there was definitely something with the waterway, Poseidon, the Kraken, and the bloodshed that was shed there. And that is being called back at this time. Yes, they were real. Yes, they were on this planet. They depicted them as negative. Why? They depicted the Kraken as negative. Why? Because it didn't like man taking its light. Okay? And so man didn't want to give up. They stole power. God, this is very real. Okay. All right. And then we have journey. This is your journey. It's not anybody else's journey but your own. Why do you why do we let others sway our journey? Because there's something here about true abundance that's ready for you. Okay? True abundance that's ready. It's been ready for you. It's like your birthright. Okay? And again, okay, we have solitude, which is interesting, because then we have coming together. So there's again this energy of letting go of karmic ties. Sometimes not spreading our energy amongst everybody is a necessity. Okay? Solitude. Think of being alone as a meaning or you are all one and in total harmony with everything. The greatest treasures are those that wait silently during your quiet times. Okay? So I am. There we go. Back to the I am. I am the one. The one is in me. I am the one. I carry the light, and I shall protect that. Spirit brings those together that need to come together. Okay? Again, ties into karmic ties. This is your journey. It's time to prepare for a journey, because it's going to throw you into it anyways. Either way, make sure you're ready. Okay? Because there's changes coming here. Because it's about precious time. We don't have time, but there's something about time. It's like, you don't have time. You don't have time to think. It's like, you don't have time to a lot of process. It's going to be boom, 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 boom. And allow it to inspire you through pure intention of the soul. Because there's something about abundance missed. There is true abundance for you. And it's still waiting. You have to open the door. Hang on, there's one more. This was quite a bit. Because there's something about the mermaid shadow. It's like urgent. I feel urgent. That's that time. Precious time. Yee. Ooh. Some sorcerer did something to you. There is an individual outside of your energy that took you off your foundation. Somebody did it to you on purpose because they were preventing you from mastering your emotions. That independence, okay? This is part of a big part of the shadow for everybody. But it also is reflective on the mermaid shadow, the shadow of the water, the shadow of Poseidon. And you're not alone. Help is already on its way. So this is why you're here today. Booyah. I love that message. Did it go too fast? Like, it's like, I feel urgent. Ang kabaya, ang tagayon tuya. Ang puyo ko tuya iya. It's in the shadow of the water. Yeah. Whew. Man, I wish that person was here right now with me, but there's probably a reason they are not. So we're going to leave it at that. This is for you. Okay. Yeah. It was fast, but thank you. Wow. I'm so sorry it was fast. I couldn't help it. It's because there's this urgent. It's about this precious time because we've lost time. And you, my friend, have to start over. It's like new beginnings. Clean slate. Clean slate. Don't allow the past to stop you again, though, because there's somebody in your energy that literally took you right out from under you. They took you off your foundation. And it was through emotions that they did so. Okay? Fear, those kinds of things. Emotions, things that trigger emotions. But Don, I can't reiterate enough. This has to do with Sirius. This has to do with water. This has to do with the shadow of the water, the mermaid ties, and the kraken. And I know that makes sense in your heart, even if it sounds foreign out here. I know it does. I could feel it. I felt it go boop and open something in your heart you had no idea was coming. Yeah, that was so cool. Such a good, powerful message. Who's next, you guys? Like, I keep getting in the flow, and I'm like, phew, this is good stuff. Feels so good. And then my kids want healings, so I'm doing 3 healings for them too. I'm like, happy birthday. I love it. It's good stuff. Amy. Yay! Amy's next. Thank you, Lisa. And then Jacinth, right? If she's still here, I know these can be taxing to sit through sometimes. But honestly, the messages really do resonate with everybody, at least at some points, right? So never a wasted space to watch these ever. This one has a lot of full circle moments for everybody in it, honestly. Spirit always knows what to have me talk about. There's reasons for everything I say. That's why I say don't not listen to a video. If you're judging it, thinking it's of low vibration, be careful, right? That's a judgment. I've seen so many spiritual people do that. I avoid what is not of low vibration. I push out those that, like, that is not of God. Okay. So whenever that arises, watch out for that, because that's a shadow piece keeping you from a very important message, from a lesson, from a learning in love. I love it. Can I get an amen? Amen. Right. They do. It's Spirit's subliminal messages. Heck yeah. Spirit works in mysterious ways. Yep. And the reason why Spirit gives messages that way is because it's through free will. You have to choose to pick it up or not. Where the shadow is like, I'm going to try to block you from that spiritual message. You can tell the shadow is aggressive. It's in your face. It's overwhelming. It's taxing. It tries to take you down. Where the light is like, there was a subtle message over here if you want it. I'm over here dancing like the fairies. It just depends on which one you want to pay attention to because of free will. Okay. The shadow is the one that takes you out of free will because they do it like, you're going to die, you're judged, you're this, you're that, right? Like, rah, rah. Does that make sense? It's like constantly in your face. If you don't take this, you're going to die. We're going to take everything from you. Where Spirit's like, well, I'm over here if you want me. That's a really good analogy, honestly. I had to do it too. I'm like, this doesn't feel right. I'm going with this, even if everybody wants to chastise me right now. And it was a lot of chastisation on my journey, like so much, right? Everybody tried to stop me from day one, different elements of my journey, and I would never allow it. I was always listening to those subtle messages over here, learning how spirit talks. And now I'm so freaking proud of myself. I undid that whole 4 whole entire karmic contract of my own that way. Okay. That's why it's super careful to pay attention to who's around you, who's a part of your karmic plan, and who's not. All right, we got Amy. Are you red eye? Are you red eye? Are you red eye? Do. Okay. Adjusting. I knew I had to have the mermaids out here. I knew it. You guys should have seen it. When I freed one of Poseidon's daughters, like, he was devastatedly distraught when man, okay, took the life of his love, of his life, his 15 daughters. Like, he had like 15 of them, y'all. Like, he was a happy man, okay? He loved to spread his happy juices. And he did. And that's where mermaids came from. Now, it's funny to me that they always depict them very dark. And the same with the Kraken. Why would the Kraken take down an asshole boat? Why would you? Right? Not just for ouch, but because they were killing them. Okay? Let's pay attention to the true stories, because it's part of what I'm healing into the new earth. Yeah. All right. Amy. Transitioning. Okay. Right as I get into your energy, it's like my throat is slit all the way down. And it hurts. It's like leaking energy. It's literally cut from all the way down my throat. Different, not this way. It's this way. I feel like you did it to yourself. Like, this is not energy from anybody else. It was self-destruction, which also speaks volumes for the Sekhmet portal. Self-sabotage, self-destruction, self-sabotage energies here. So they're going to sew that up. Whoa, sorry. It hurts too. Like, they're literally, it's like a jagged edge. Like, I literally ripped my whole entire throat. And I don't think you did it consciously. Some of it was, some of it was not. There is the energy of sorrow, a little disappointment, and a little fear, and a little bit of misguided expectations. But your heart is still good. Like, you see what I'm like, why would we do this? Just misguidedness, okay? This is also part of your shadow, self-destruct, self-sabotage. That is a big challenge. Okay, it is. It's not an easy one. Yeah. But questioning what is the question, right? I feel like, again, this has to do with also validations. We look for validations. We need, why do we need? It's the ego. So your ego is not gone, okay? But because why do we need validations, and what kind of validations are you looking for? Why? There's an energy of here equality. It's understanding of equality. It's understanding of, again, karmic ties. So this is relevant because of the ascension. So that's why it's going across the board. Okay. We all have to understand our karmic programming and why we do the things that we do in order to let them go and heal them. But it's never about chastising. It's never about judgment. It's about love, 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 love. Okay, so there's a problem. There's a part of that. All right, that makes sense to why you cut your own throat out. because you literally cut out your throat chakra pretty much. It's like this big gaping hole from here down, and it's like a jagged edge. So it's not just like a simple whoop, like you literally try to rip your throat out. Don't do that. Okay. There's no reason to that. There's never a reason to self. And this was not all consciousness. This was somewhat subconscious. But the shadow component that's coming out here is you're looking for it's ego. That's why you're kind of not seeing clearly is ego. And you need to look back on your journey and ask yourself when ego took over. It wasn't yesterday. It wasn't the day before. This actually occurred a while ago. You got to look back on your journey and ask yourself when you let ego take over. And that's the component. Your heart is still good. Okay, so don't ever think that it's not. This has to do with ego. And we all have to do that. That's part of the shadow. Okay, it's almost like self-worth is tied to your ego. So you have to be very careful with that. Okay, when self-worth is tied to ego, it's not self-worth at all. That's that codependency again, and that's part of a shadow. Okay, coping mechanisms. And sometimes it's not easy. Again, so this is perfect because heart chakra, unfurling back to love. Like your heart is pure. Okay, I think you need to hear that. All right, your heart is pure, but you're seeing through ego. Okay, so 5 changes out of the shadow, unfurling back to love. This is about you getting right back with your heart again and unfurling back to love. Okay, because it's beyond the mind. So you got in the mind somewhere and we let ego. So you need to look back. Don't have expectations of when. This was not yesterday. It was not the day before. It was no time in your recent past. This happened a while ago. Something about I chose ego over spirit. Full spectrum. And then unfurling back to love. Okay? Unfurling back to love. Once you recognize it, we begin to eliminate it out of our existence. We take our power back from the shadow. And remember, it's beyond the mind. We can't think our way through it. Feel. Okay? This has to everything to do with ego. It's very loud in my face right now, like ego. It's just, and it has to do again with codependent relationships. You guys, I can't reiterate enough how much of my journey was independent, how much of it had to occur on the inside, how much of it I couldn't speak outwardly until those asked questions about it. And then I had to be careful of where the questions were coming from and the intentions behind them. Okay. Because the shadow works through karma. All right. This is a big deal. I know it's a lot, but it makes sense though. The more you do the work, the more you heal, the more we see it. It's true. Where your karma plays out, it has to do with your ego. That's a big part of your shadow. Codependency. Okay. And our coping mechanisms. And this is across the board. See, that wasn't just you. I've said it too. I had to deal with this too. These are a part of the portals. So when I said, if you guys are actually watching the work that I've done on here, it reflects the portals that I created and opened. Each one has certain lessons of God. Ego, the shadow, which are kind of one and the same, just different components of it. It's more of a I am misguidance, right? Money, that's part of it. It always tries to sway us in the wrong direction. Okay. Those kinds of things are all challenges of the portals, challenges of the karma in our life and what we've chosen before. And so you've got to look back on your journey and be honest with spirit and go from your heart space. Now, here's the thing is you do have a really big heart. Your heart is pure, Amy. I can't reiterate that enough. And so when we do that, we get a disappointment in there because that's there. I feel like that's what happened to your throat. Don't be disappointed in yourself. You've come a long way and you've done amazing things. And your journey is not other people's journey. Your validations will come in your own recognition and beating of your own shadow. Okay. That's when we enlighten higher. That's when those DNA activations come. That's when those aha moments come of who we are to the whole. Okay. There's something about that here too. And this is a big challenge of your shadow. because like in this full spectrum, you see these skulls down here, and I'm not a skulls kind of guy. Like the only way, like with tattoos, like I kind of feel is accurate is it depends on what you tattoo on your body, right? Like if it's very low vibrational, death and darkness, and I feel like that's what's always trying to take us down. Okay, so full spectrum understanding allows you to see clearly when those come up, but when you're in the ego or in the shadow mind, you'll play into it. So at some point you chose ego over spirit. So just ask. And then when you're shown it, just get right back on. That's that unfurling back to the heart, unfurling back to unconditional love. It has nothing to do with anything else. And nobody else needs to know nothing, right? It's about your journey, your path, and just getting right back aligned with your heart. Okay? Remember, our heart reality is totally different than the reality in which we are coming from. But there is a reflection here of don't fool yourself because it didn't come from the heart to begin with. So I don't know why you might think that you are not, something's wrong with you, because it's not. But your heart is so big, you might do that. Okay? This is about understanding you're powerful in your own right, and maybe it's not revealed for a reason yet. Okay? Because you've been in an energy they can't compute with. So alchemy is truly learning about who you are, and you've been asking this question. This is what's been blocking it. It's about healing, okay? Healing that piece of the shadow, because we all have to. Nobody on this earth is going to escape that at all, 100%, okay? My DM had a pure heart, and then look at what happened, right? Chose the shadow a little bit. So it's common, okay? It has nothing to do with a reflection of your heart. You need to hear that. You need to hear that. It has nothing to do with a reflection of your heart, everything to do with ego. So heal it. Heal it. Then you learn more about who you are and the gifts that you house, which you got to strengthen that muscle. Here's the thing about that you have to be very careful, is when you chose the shadow component over the light unknowingly, are you healing in God's light yet? Right? Like be very careful with that. And that's that high priestess energy. Like it's very easy for you to come from a shadow component if you're not strong in your convictions of the heart. Okay, so we have to heal ourselves too, right? That's healing. So there's a piece there, and that's probably why you slit your throat. It's beyond the mind. Don't do judgment on yourself, but check your ego. Find out where you went awry. Ask Spirit to tell you. Ask Spirit to show you at what point did you miss something so that you can get back on it and you can get right back into discovering who you are and the powers that you have, and then strengthening that muscle, because it's truly about unfurling back to love. And I could show this one to my DM too, like unfurl back to love. I'm not supposed to be alone, especially on my birthday. Gee. Right? Does that make sense? That's why what you are seeing and feeling, it's reflected in the ego shadow. It's not from your pure heart. No. Any kind of anything you've been putting out since that point has not been from the place of the heart. It has been from the place of an ego mind. Does that make sense? So you do have to go back and find out, where did I choose the ego, so that I can make sure that I self-develop out of that and just heal it. It's just about healing it. You know that. You are a pure heart, okay? It's just we chose outside of the heart at some point. I don't know. You'd have to ask. That's for you to ask. And it's as simple as that. I mean, it's not simple and it is all at the same time. There's no reason for any kind of assuming that you are not, your heart is pure. It's just a shadow component. It's a big one. I would say you're a few portals behind because we chose outside of the heart at some point. Okay? It's just as simple as that. And always make sure that every challenge is met with love from the heart, not the mind. It's not met with judgment because you were in a danger zone a little bit. But you know that. Nothing bad. This is all positive. So I don't want anybody to like, or you to take it out of that. Because that's like I did. Like, damn it, I missed something. I would do that too. Like, dang it. I remember Ariel saying, do everything profound. And there was a time that I was like, it wasn't profound. And I spent a week like crying, like, it wasn't profound. And Spirit's like, stop doing that. You're making it worse. I'm like, okay. Like, it's not always easy. Okay. Because you were, I would say, in the danger zone. So until you get right with that and back in your heart, I wouldn't do anything else. Okay? Because of the high priestess status, you've got to heal that so that you know that you're coming from the heart. Because you do stand in between both worlds for a reason, so that you can help others heal theirs in a very big way too. That's why those of us that do have more capabilities, more probabilities, more power, we are challenged more. And I even noticed that Deep Diver guy did a video on that. Why are the chosen ones challenged more? Because we have to understand how to not let the shadow take us down. We have to know how to heal every component and not from a place of judgment. So we heal it in ourselves first. That's why some people would look at me and go, how are you the chosen one when your life was like horrible and you had all these challenges and I don't see you with Ferraris and mansions and Please, that's judgment. Why am I the chosen one? Because my heart is pure and I never gave up and I am of God and fought for God and nothing swayed me. That's why. Right? I am. Like the apes that we freed yesterday. Hooah! I love those animals. They were so cool. Oh my gosh. Who's next? Jacint! Are you still here? I know it's been a while and I don't know who's left. And she was best for last, maybe? Thank you for waiting. You guys are so patient to get your messages. I'm going to do it again Tuesday. So even if you came today and got messages, come Tuesday to Facebook. Get some more. This is all just part of my birthday giveaways. I want to give another thing away. I just don't know what yet. I used to give away free healing sessions, but until people can grasp who I am, I don't feel like sometimes they use that light correctly. So I'm swaying on that one right now. Jacint is here. So I want to give away something good. I thought about giving away maybe a shadow course, but I know you guys have done all that one. And so I'm trying to figure that out. So when I do have my actual full giveaway, I will release that for whoever wants it. But until then, right now, it's just messages. Okay. I gotta find the right deck for you. None of these are speaking for Jacint at this time. Wah, wah, da, da, da. Dun, 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 dun. All right. You guys, Jacint, can I tell everybody? Can I at least give them a heads up? Can I boast you a little bit? Can I? Can I already put it? Okay. So we are doing, so you guys, this is not about anybody other than an opportunity to heal, right? So as my individuals who are part of what Spirit calls the apostles, right? The 10 apostles, as they rise into the gates, they're here to help you all rise to the gate, okay? Because I have to do the heart review. They can't do that, but they can do other components. You feel me? You feel what I'm putting down? So Miss Jacint has cleared her karmic contract. She is into the gates of the eternal flow. And she is still new, right? She graduated my academy and she's such a beautiful light and such a beautiful healer. And I am going to help her get on her path to that. That's the best way to put it. So we're doing a collaboration piece, okay? But it's really, truly going to be about her. All right? So pretty soon here, we will be announcing a healing event that will be through Jacinth. I will be there, but only for whatever, right? Whatever. But it's going to be quite powerful. So as like Amy's doing and Jacinth is doing and Lisa's doing, and I know Gigi is doing, they are rising into their light, okay? Because God called certain individuals to shine their light for a reason. So yes, I've opened all the gates, and yes, I do the heart reviews, but there's not just me that can help heal people into them. Making sense, right? And of course, it's got to come from the ones who've already crossed the gates, you guys. Those are the ones. That's why I tell you, if you guys are healing outside of the activations, if you're healing outside of going through the portals, you're not healing in God's light at all. Who better to bring you through the ascension than those who've already made it through? Can I get an amen? Whoop, whoop. So I am just going to help her step into her power. All right. So we will be doing a collaboration piece very soon. And when it's ready, we will let you know. I will announce it. And Jacinth will be doing the healing, the leading, all of it. Because she's here to help heal. That's what she does. She's a very powerful healer. And that is coming soon. She's guiding the way. Spirit's telling her what to do. Okay. And I will just be helping to back. That's it. Okay. Because she is one of the ones who can help you guys to the gates, not through it. Who gets you through the gate? And I know most of you are going to say one specific thing. Who truly gets you through the gate, my friends? Does anybody know that answer? It's a tricky one. Nope. I knew that. Everybody's going to say me, right? No. I give you the key. I have created the gates to which you will all be forced through. You got it. You, I am. That's what that video talked about yesterday. The I am in your heart is what gets you. You got it, Michelle. Yourselves, okay? I just give you the key. I gave you the path. I give you the key, and I tell you what to do. And can I heal you there? Yes. You guys know that. But so can they. The ones that go through my thing, the ones that get through that gate, the ones that have passed that gate can absolutely unequivocally help you. You guys can help you. Okay? That's the beautiful part about it. I don't put you through that gate. I just give you the key when your contract is cleared. Can I help you get through it? Yes. But who does it? You do. I love this. That was great. You do. It's you. It's your choices. It's your choice to heal. It's your choice to follow the guidance. It's your choice to get to that gate. But us can help you, right? I love that. That was beautiful. So thank you for that. And Jacinth is a very powerful healer. All of them are. Okay. And we've worked very hard, and they are all inching towards their gate. Amy is very close. Okay. Jacinth is there. I'm there. It's all happening. And so these are the individuals who will be able to help guide you. Okay. Truly, truly to the gate. The only one who can get you through is you. It's beautifully said. Beautifully said. I just give you the key because I've done the heart review, right? And I created the pathway. I opened it up. Gave you your option to go to God. The rest is up to you, my friends. That was beautiful. So, I love it. You guys are amazing. All right. So Jacinth, we've got 3 decks out here for you. For sure. Here, one deck I haven't touched in a minute. So let me make sure it's pure. And the energetic flow. So remember, we have to upgrade our modalities and stuff, you guys, and we do this, but make sure you do it a lot sometimes, right? When you grab them, cleanse the energy of them, pure intentions on them, ask the earth to help transmute them every time, because each portal represents a power callback. Okay. And it truly is about loving each other, supporting one another, giving each other the guidance and the tools. Okay. Let spirit block you from those who wish you harm, because you don't know who that is. And if you ever try to say, oh, this person's doing it, be careful. Is that the shadow? Okay. Love, love, love only. Love, love, love only. We love each other. We love one and all. That is the gates. Okay? All right. Ganta bayeki anta wiwa ya kitawa yuitia. Whew. Those definitely needed cleansed. I felt that. All this light went phew. So pretty. Okay. Just saying. Let's see what we got here for you. Well, something special is on its way. So don't worry. Don't hesitate. Don't delay. Don't delay. That's components of the shadow. When you sit too long, you are hesitation. And that is letting energies in you don't want at play. Okay? Can the shadows still try to throw us off our game? Absolutely. Even if we've gone through, right? It's just you're so healed that it shouldn't take you any other way. So, but be mindful of that. Don't delay. There's an energy of here of don't hesitate, don't delay. Run, 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 and shine your light so bright. Because like I said, you've made it through, so you've got to help guide those that need it. Okay? For the real though. And just doesn't mean we have to make it through to help be a guide. No, just got to make sure you're not in your shadow. Okay? And that you're coming from pure intentions, pure light, and the right DNA activations. Okay? But you did make it through. And so this is a big call to your light. Okay, it's big. But it's like, don't delay. Oh my gosh, just wait till you see this. I can't show you yet. Hang on, because there's something else coming through here. Now, remember you did the animal thing with me yesterday? So part of this has to deal with that, but the other part does not. So hang on. There's something else coming into play here. Something you haven't quite thought of before. This is going to be outside your realm of expectations. Now, what do expectations do? Put the block on. They put the block on. Put the block on. I love these cards. Oh my gosh. Now, this goes with the questions you've been asking. You're trying to find your way home. What do I do? Right? Where is my joy? Where do I fit in the world around me? Home, but new beginnings. New home for you, my dear, guiding you away from what once was to what is. And this is about you creating a new home, new environment. Look at this. I can't deny this. Finding your way home into new beginnings. Okay, new beginnings. So we're trying to find our way home. I don't understand what's happening here. And then animals. Now hang on with that animals thing, my dear, because I also had to grab the animal deck. And I said, part of it has to do with the fact that you helped me bring animals through. But there's something else here. Okay? Need I say more on that? I don't think so. We're going to leave that one there. Because this is something new. This is a new beginning aspect. This is something you haven't considered before or thought of before. And something just went boop and opened up in your heart space. Light bulb just went on. Do, 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 do. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's for this time, but the animals is sticking out in the radar. And this is about finding your way home, right? Finding your way home to what joys you, part of your gifts, part of your purpose. But I'm not done with the cards yet. That was just the first deck. But how ironic is it that has an animal card and I had to pull the animal deck? Okay. And you're also processing the deaths of the animals and the helping for the karma kickback. So that is also weighing heavy into your energy at this time. Now, I need you to be aware of lack. Overflow, overwhelm, and plenty. Oddly as enough, this card reflects of lack. Okay. Do not get into a space of lack or I need more, always need more, right? Learn to just be so grateful with what you have in the moment, knowing you have everything you need at every given moment. You are a powerful creator. It's remembering that. New beginnings, finding your way home, right? And you are also in your new book. So you're writing your future. That's here too. Because when we do cross the gates, all of our old contract and old life it's gone. It's a new beginning. You write your future. It's not a joke. I got one too. And I'm like, what do I write? I'm like, wait a minute. Isn't that supposed to be like God? Do it like, wait a minute. Oh my God. Like, that's a weird feeling. It's not a joke, you guys. It's such a weird feeling. And that's in her energy too. It's like, what do I write? Like, how do I write my future? That's usually based in a karmic cleansing pattern. And we don't have that anymore. So, your biggest thing is to not get into an energy of lack. Okay, I don't have this will never come, I can't do this. That has to be erased out of your energy. That is the lack that is present, and it will block abundant flow. It will block the new beginnings because they're going to be different than they were before. And animals keep coming up in that too. But there's a tie here you're familiar with. How many times were we doing sessions and the animals would speak to you through your window? Can I get an amen? Full of this today. Ugh. Whew. Now remember, you're still in the crossing. Initiation. So that goes with that lack. Okay? You're still in an initiation crossing period, right? You're exiting one world and entering into another still. This is about new beginnings, unfamiliar territory, trying to find your footing and find your way home. Do not focus on lack, because that'll kick you in the ass, okay? Because it doesn't exist at all. It's part of a shadow. It's the moment where that's why they talk about matching the vibration. Let's simplify that, okay? Just know that it's already for you. If it's in your imagination, if it's in your heart, and it comes from a space of no harm to anyone, it's already for you. The only one that can stop it is you. So when we focus on lack, I need this, I have nothing, and you guys can use my story as an example all you want. When my DM didn't show up, I've had to quit my job, I've had to do this, and then I would get like an eviction notice. Like, wait a minute, was I evicted ever? No. Okay. So it would be looking like I had nothing. Like, oh shit, everything was just taken away. I have nothing. Self-sabotage tries to come into play. That's a big one in your energy as well. Just because you've made it through doesn't mean you don't have to still work through these shadow components that you're letting go of. Okay. So do your best to not get into lack. I'm not worthy. I don't have enough. I need this. I need that. Just tell spirit what you need. Get out of your head and do not hesitate. That's why that's coming through. That's why the hesitation is so strong in there. Because the moment you hesitate, your shadow takes over. It has not been completely eliminated from your energy at this time. You're not carrying it through. It's not anchored into your heart space, but you haven't stepped completely out of it. Does that make sense? And so the moment you hesitate and go into your head, then we put time in there, and then it's like, oop, and we lose the component of magic, of your power. You're giving your power away. So that's the portal where there's still a little sticky for you, even if you've made it all the way through. The portal that's still a little sticky is of the mind. Okay, so make sure you don't give it power. I have everything I need. No, posh, posh, nay, nay. God says I get this. Hey. Why would I let anything else sway me? You guys, I know I try to be a little silly about this, but it's actually very real. I've had this happen to me several times, especially in my twin flame journey. Oh, he doesn't love you. What? Yes, he does. That's stupid. Just because we all have healing to do doesn't mean there's not love there. It just depends on what we focus on. That's just a little example. You guys know the rest. But if we allow space in our mind, we're giving stickiness to that shadow. We're giving it clout. We're giving it ground to stomp on. The moment spirit says, do this, you go, I got you. Boom, both feet on the ground, and I'm running. It's an urgent feeling. Urgent, right? Like, they said do this. I don't know how. Ooh, yakataya. That's the lack. I don't need to know how because it's in my heart space. That means, guess what? I've done this before. I do know how. You want to know something really cool too? This painting over here. I've never been an artist until I had my awakening. I asked Spirit, I don't know how to create this. And they showed me. I got an image in my head. I'm like, oh, sweet. So it went from one way to a whole nother. And I was like, oh, there's this. I love that painting. That painting is just so beautiful to me. In person, it's like such a beautiful painting. Maybe others do much better than I do. It's not about that. But I literally didn't know how to do it. That was a gift from me from when I took us into 7D for somebody else, okay? That's supposed to help somebody through a portal. But I was literally like, I don't know how to do that. It wasn't like I can't do that. Spirit showed me. I'm like, I don't know how to do that. And they just gave me an image of what to do. I didn't know how to create Hertz music. Spirit said, do it. I'm like, okay. I got an image, did a little research, ba-boom, ba-bam, ba-bing, and I got what I got. Okay. Some people don't like some of them. I do, right? I only create ones I feel that actually do things in my body. So they may trigger things in other people. That's okay. So we can't judge what we do off other people's opinions either, right? It's always there to help those it needs to help, regardless of other people's opinions. Okay. So never lack. This is a big challenge for you because it's sticky portal. Sticky portal is still sticking to your energy. That's that rite of passage, initiation. This is your final challenge that you have to bypass. Did it stop you from getting through? No, it's not in your heart. It's in your head. Can I get an amen? Amen. And it's just a little bit. It's just a little bit. It's like, I can do this. So the moment we're in our head, it means we hesitated. Spirit says, do this, do it. Don't think, act. Jump in feet first. Never head dive. Don't break your neck. Metaphorically, energetically, please don't do that. My neck hurts just thinking about that. Don't dive in head first. We don't know what we're diving into. Feet first so we can get grounded. Yes. Yes. Woo, woo. I love it. 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 It's exactly right. Right? Think too much and what happens? Boom, lack. And then boom, shit, I just got knocked down again. Now what do I got to do? But you can't. So the thing is it will just boomerang right back at you because it doesn't exist on the other side. Okay? The only thing you're doing is blocking your abundant flow at this point. It's about you. It's like you don't feel like you're worthy. Now, here's the thing with that is you are worthy. We are all worthy. Nobody's less worthy than anybody. We are all equally worthy. From the homeless person on the street to myself, we are all equally worthy. Now, for that, I need an amen. Because we forget that. Because that's not what they pushed. Nobody is less worthy than the next. It's all the same shadow components we have to choose through. Period. Some more than others. That's the only difference. Okay? You are worthy. You've worked hard. We all do. Okay? So don't let that lack stop you. Do not hesitate. Act immediately. Feet first to ground. Never head first diving into an oblivion to break your neck. This is true. Lord have mercy. Oh, I love a DS. I love DS. I love DS. Finishing with the animal deck, as that is what they called through too. A lot of animal energy in your energy bank right now. You are processing a lot of animal deaths and the ones that we had to kick back in the karma. You're processing more than most from yesterday. More than I am, more than any of them. It put on you, but that's because you were readily available to. So just make sure you're not allowing those to encompass your energy. That's why you also don't think, okay? Because a lot is not you. It's other energies you're processing through too. So keep that in mind. Now here's the final component of your mystery. Your message. Sorry. Life is a mystery. That's why I read it that way. Life is a mystery, sweetheart. Stop trying to know all the answers. You're taking away the magic. That's a logical world we no longer live in. The energy of 8D, which is actually where you come from, the energy that you're in is that. Okay. This is why I said be very careful with saying everybody gets this energy, everybody goes that way. We go to where we can match and where we allow ourselves to match. I did raise the frequency for the collective soul to 70. Most won't even reach that. Does that mean we're all solidified there? No. So that's why I say that. But here's the thing is when you get in your head, it's like, I need all the answers. I need to know that this is logical. I need to know. I need to see the numbers, which is a fault. So there's something going on with that. Can you put it in a books and say that this is going to be sustainable? Only if you will let it be. That doesn't make sense. That's lack. That's a different reality. Okay. When I am in my energy and when my vibration's high, I instantly create anything from nothing. I have pulled in lots of sums of money at one time. I have pulled in very small sums of money at one time. The only difference is where my energy lies. It doesn't mean I have to go work a 9 to 5. As some of you know, on my journey, I have not been able to do that. It has to be my heart center, which was building this business from the ground up through spirit by myself. Okay. I had nothing. And yet at the same time, I've always had everything. Okay. This is important. Life is a mystery. Everyone must stand alone. I hear you call my name. This is actually really good. And it feels like home. Okay. So stop. Let the mystery unfold. You are one who I need a blueprint. I need to know all the details, and you need to list them off in chronological order for me, please. And Spirit says that is lack. That is only lack. Because I am a powerful creator. Get that list away from me, because I'm not creating your list. That's not what I want. I have freedom. Freedom is yours. To feel my hair blow in the breeze with ease and grace, and you can't control me. You can't tell me I can only get a half an hour lunch when I just saved somebody from suicide. No, thank you. Sorry, my prime example. It doesn't feel good. I can make money from 2 hours of work today. Great. And I paid my bills. Whoop, whoop. Who says I have to work a 9 to 5? Who says I have to do things that way? Life is truly a mystery on the other side. It's all an energy base of freedom and free will and love, flow, and balance. So don't be in lack, because lack is what you will create. You don't need all the answers. Allow the miracles to flow and find your way home in the new beginnings by making sure you detox your energy every day, because sometimes life stings. So we release it and we let it go, and we know tomorrow is a new day, and I have everything I need because I have God on my side today. Boom, mic drop. That was a beautiful message. Damn, that was powerful. I love that, Jacente. Oh, I'm like, oh, my juices are flowing from that one. That was a good message, sunshine. Oh, that was beautiful. And I couldn't have said it better myself. Amen. Amen. That was beautiful. Now, even some people might look at this and go, how can she claim God if she's using sorcery? Oh, sweetheart. Sorcery is used outside of God, but it's all God to begin with. Can I get another amen, 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 amen? And that goes with the scripture from the one. That was so beautiful, you guys. This was a very good birthday present for me. Is to give all this love and this camaraderie and the good feelings and the good juices and helping each other through, because that's what it truly is about, right? Helping each other through. I don't need to get through first. We all need to get through at the same time. The same damn time. Woo, woo. I love this. This is so good. This is so good. That's how we know we're not alone. Does anybody have any more questions? Anything else? You're so welcome. I'm so proud. I love you guys so much. You're all doing an amazing job. So much love and happiness to you too, you guys. So much love. I've got everything I need except for one thing, but I can't force it through. I can't make a man love this energy either, you know? I wish I could. You guys are so welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to those that helped me free the animals yesterday. That was a very beautiful experience. And then to see that lab be exposed today, and there's more to come, I'm like, that's a victory. And then the tornado hit the Pfizer building. I didn't even put that together. Gigi messaged me that. Even my mom was like, Bree, look at this. Look what happened. She's like, good job. And I'm like, whoa, thank you for recognizing that. Yes, it is the work that I have done. And it is divinely guided. And you can see that. You can see that playing out right now. The Pfizer building got taken down with a tornado. these stupid labs are being exposed for what they really are and the origins that they truly come from. You know? And I said that those were man-made and they had HIV in them. And then to find this lab with the COVID, HIV, herpes, simplex, all these together, it's like, whoa. And then my children this year, you guys, they played an 1.5-hour video for me to be forced to give them vaccines. Because if I don't, I'm a horrible person. And the first thing it said is, oh, we promise it doesn't change your DNA. And I'm like, I didn't even give you that argument. Yet you're trying to shove that down my throat. So obviously it's felt in the collective soul. I'm proud of you all. Keep finding your way. Keep listening to that heart and beat that shadow in every way, because I want everybody to join me on the other side. There's no reason to suffer. Happy birthday to everybody, because that's truly what this is about, isn't it? Mm-hmm. I love you guys. Hopefully I'll see you guys Tuesday for the lives again. And then when I find the free giveaway, I will let you guys know, okay? And my Patreons, help me come up with next week's, whatever you guys say, I'm going to combine it into one healing, okay? Hopefully, Gigi, I'll let her know too. So whatever you guys need, that you feel you need, I'm going to combine it into one healing for a workshop for Patreon, probably in the next week or so, okay? I love you too, you guys. And as soon as Jacinth has got her plan ready, we are putting out a collaborative piece so that she can know how powerful she is and be able to spread the love and help guide you guys through, okay? I will. Thank you. So I'll be working. You guys, I'll be working. I just got my kids. I'm going to do healings on them today, maybe a little celebration, and that's about it. So I love you guys very, very much so. Stay safe. Stay out of the shadow. See you next time.